All right, you made it to your asynchronous work time. We are going to work through your asynchronous work together. We will first talk about what figurative language is. Second, we'll go through how to complete this assignment. And third, I'll even go through some examples with you. The goal is that before you get to class for your synchronous work time, you have completed this whole figurative language note catcher so that you are ready to read the next section and think more about figurative language. So what is figurative language? Figurative language is language used to convey something that is different from the literal definition. Now, before you continue with this video, if you need a review of figurative language, go to the linked video on the Canvas page. It's called Figurative Language, and two people who are probably teachers will bring you through the definitions and some examples of figurative language just from life in general. So pause this video and go watch the YouTube video if you feel that you need an additional reminder. It'll take you about 4 minutes. Okay, so now either you know what I'm talking about with figurative language or you went and you saw that video. Now we're going to get to work with this work page. So what do we do? Well, the directions are up here. Read the literary device, fill in the definition, and see the example of the device from some of the Mariposas. This says work with a partner or your group, but you're going to work instead with me on this video. So let's go through how we're going to do this. So up here it says step 1, add the following definitions of literary devices to the appropriate row in the charts on the following pages. Let's preview what this looks like. Now this is a long document, but you'll notice that in the definition part, you're just going to copy and paste from up here. You're going to read from the text, and then you'll write your inference down here. In fact, your worksheet is going to have the definitions all filled in yellow, and the inference rows are all filled in blue. So we know that you're going to put these in the yellow boxes and you're going to type your own answers in the blue. Let's do an example together. So this first one says literary device. Step 1 is adding the definition. So what is a simile? If I don't know off the top of my head, I should go back and watch that YouTube video. If I do know off the top of my head, I'm going to read through and I will find the definition. It's a comparison of two unlike things. Oh wait, no, that's not what it is. It's a comparison of two unlike things using like or as. I'm going to highlight that and go to Edit, Cut. That gets rid of it up there. And then I'm going to go to Edit, Paste. Now I have my definition and I'm done with my yellow box. Now I'm going to read the example from the text. His thick tresses floated loosely around his head like the black tentacles of a sea monster. So then I have to make an inference. What does that mean? His thick tresses, you guys know what tresses are? It's hair, floated loosely around his head like the black tentacles of a sea monster. So this is an image using a simile, and I'm going to infer that he has long, black, wavy hair. So make sure that you type that in with me. He has long, black, wavy hair. And let's add one more thing because you are 8th graders. So in addition to that, does this feel like a positive or more of a negative description? It says like the tentacles of a sea monster. So I feel like this character might be like a bad guy, to say it the best. Or have negative intentions. Okay, so really this first part is what you need. This second part is just a bonus because you're in 8th grade. Let's do another one together. So we have, for this one, we have metaphor. So we go back up here. What is a metaphor? Again, if you don't know and you haven't watched that other video, go ahead and watch it now. Or you can, of course, Google metaphor for the definition. And I notice in my list, I've already gotten rid of one. I have, it's a comparison of two unlike things. So, sorry, let me go through that again. I'm going to go to Edit, Cut, so I can take that one off the list. And then I'll go back down here. All right, now it's the good part. Let's read the metaphor. Standing beside the hackberry shrubs with hundreds of empty, desiccated cocoons still clinging to their branches and a carpet of butterfly corpses under her feet, La Llorona did not look anything like a malevolent specter. Whew. I'm glad they bolded the metaphor on that one because that's hard to get through. So we're talking about La Llorona, and it says a carpet of butterfly corpses under her feet. So the metaphor would be a carpet because she's not literally standing on a carpet. So what's my inference? What does it mean? It says there are these corpses, these dead butterflies at her feet. So she, or her presence, has killed them. So I've guided you through two. Now I'm going to do kind of a guided practice where I'm going to pause, ask you to write, and then we will go over this together. So let's do one that's a little more tricky. Let's go down here to where it says verbal irony. So first we got to find the definition. So again, if I don't know off the top of my head, I need to look it up, or I can maybe use process of elimination. So verbal irony is kind of like sarcasm, when you say one thing, but you actually mean the opposite. So when somebody says like, nice hairdo, and you know that they really mean that they don't think that your hair looks great. That's verbal irony. So using language that means the opposite of what you mean for humor or dramatic effect. So the example from the text is on page 61. Oh, great, I retorted. So I might need to look back on page 61. And so go ahead and do that. Take a few minutes, write your inference, pause the video, and then check back to see if your inference matches what I put. Okay, so what did you find? What did it mean when she said, oh, great, I retorted? Did you go back to page 61? So I went back and I read the context. It said perfume, I asked. Why would we need perfume? Velia rolled her eyes at me. Hello, he's going to start stinking. Oh, great, I retorted. So now he's not going to look like a prostitute. He's going to smell like one too. Remember, who are they talking about? They're talking about the man, the dead man who they're transporting. So what can we infer about her? Did you say that she isn't actually happy about that? She actually is upset. She doesn't think it's a great idea. So we'll put she is actually upset about the perfume being used on the man. All right. So now your job, this video is 10 minutes. You maybe spent 5 more minutes listening to the figurative language one. So you have about 15 minutes left in your asynchronous time. You're going to start with personification. And again, we start by figuring out what it means. So again, if I don't know, I got to look it up or watch that other video. I'm going to read the statement, and then I'm going to basically translate that statement into what it actually means. When you're done, make sure that you submit this assignment for a grade.